And now, music.
You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more. And life and love.
Hello there, and welcome to something that's going to go very wrong. It's the Flash and Blade podcast. We're on Zoom, which means I think we've got about 10 minutes, and then we'll have to start all over again. But stay watching and listening, because you'll be able to hear me swearing. Yeah, that's about it. Right, very quickly, to my left is Eddie.
Hello.
Down by there. Oh, God, this isn't back to front like it is on Discord. That's Dominic, who we can see.
Hello.
Over there in the corner is the American Prevert.
Hi.
And our guest for the evening, and I'm overjoyed about this, is Sophie Isles. That's Isles Prevert.
Yes, I heard the I this time.
Uh-huh. Because last time, what happened?
I heard an M.
You thought it was Sophie Miles, didn't you? And you went off on one for half an hour with dribble coming out of your mouth.
Yes.
I mean, to make you feel slightly better, no one is able to pronounce my last name, but also I do have a middle name beginning with M. So technically you're not wrong. It's just in the wrong place.
Oh.
So you're good. You're good. I prefer being called Sophie Miles to Sophie Illes. Or
what is the correct pronunciation then, love?
You are correct. It is Isles. It is like the British Isles, but just not spelt the same.
When you've got to handle
You're all
Siobhan
good.
Galichon every day, you don't have too much trouble. I deliberately chose the first name because over the years, people had so much trouble with my surname. I thought, screw you, world. Let's give you something else to have fun with. Right, so, yes, indeedy doodly, or something. We're going to start, as we always start, by asking how people's weeks have been. So let's go to our guest first of all. Sophie, how's your week been?
A bit mad, really, because my Big Finish short trip came out on Tuesday, and
Did it? I wouldn't have known.
Here, this is my shock face.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a mental week, to be frank with you. My social media notifications haven't stopped. I've
Eddie's
been
dead.
trying to work. I've been trying to work, and just keep getting messages from people saying that they've bought it or listened to it or about to listen to it and very excited. And it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. Actually, I think it's a lot more than people think it is.
Once you get to that point, you're then open to everybody.
Yeah.
You're now technically in our tiny little puddle that is Doctor Who fandom. You're now a name. You know, so which also means every now and again you've got to be careful what you say and what you do.
Of course.
You know, it comes with responsibilities. Not that I've ever known that. Seriously, after all these years, I'm still not a name. It's terrible. It's probably because it's Siobhan Galichon. People can't say it. Right. So let's go up to the man wearing the correct hat for his station. It's Eddie McKenna.
Thank you, Siobhan Galichon. That was very nice of you to.
My thumb's gone.
Half your body has, by the looks of things.
Oh no, that's just me.
I thought it was a middle finger I was going to get, but there you go. So,
No.
how's my week been? It's been good. Sophie, I really enjoyed your story, so much so that I tweeted about it, which I don't normally do. So well done.
Thank you very much. That's very kind.
It was a busy, hectic week, and that was a good listen that kind of broke up the week nicely. So thank you.
That's what I'm after. There we go. Now I can do digit-based insults. Okay, good.
Oh, good.
Dominic, my love, lovely to actually be able to see you. If this is the score, then we'll go on Zoom from now on, if it means we can see you.
I mean, I'm a lot more dishevelled in reality than my profile picture on Discord. And that you're always fine. You're always fine.
No, I'm not.
I'm just saying. But anyway, my week's been all right. Just been getting through it and surviving as usual, and just trying to ensure that I, stay healthy and don't forget to eat and drink. So, the standard, really.
So basically,
It's important.
you're remembering to try and live.
Yes, which is more difficult than you'd think.
Yes, indeed. I wouldn't deny that. American
also-
Prevert, what sort of week have you had?
My week has been caught in a time dilation. This week has lasted about 3 months.
Oh, Chronic Hysteresis.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Oh, we're stuck in a chronic
Yes.
hysteresis.
It
Yes, we're
was-
stuck in a chronic hysteresis.
Mm.
Yes, we're stuck.
It's over. One of the things that actually got me through it was listening to your story. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, you see, we
Okay.
said we weren't going to do anything about the story whilst she was here
I had to say
because I
thank
didn't
you.
want to embarrass her.
I had to say thank you.
It's okay if you want to talk about it, it's fine. I was just more of a I didn't know how you wanted to approach it. If you were going to go through and kind of track
We
by
do an incredibly
analyze.
we do an incredibly deep review where we take apart every line and analyze it. Alternatively,
this
we'll
is
say,
too much
"Oh,
of it."
that was good, wasn't it?" Yeah.
Sophie, you had me at Delgado. That is the master. You had me at Delgado.
Not gonna lie, Big Finish had me at Delgado. That's how it worked. Like it was just like, "Do you want to?" And I was like, "Really?
They
You're gonna
approached you,
ask
did
me?"
they?
They did.
I mean,
Yeah.
you captured him marvelously.
Oh yes.
You really did.
Oh,
And
yeah.
And the thing
I'm,
is,
John
what
Crawshaw.
happens to him? I can't imagine it happening to any other master.
No, neither can I, which is why. Yeah, because basically, Simon and I were told we had to pick between the two. So we were both offered Ainley and Delgado, and I basically swooped in and went, Simon, can I have Delgado, please? I think it will work very well for my story. And he was just like, yeah, I haven't written Ainley before. So it worked out really well. And I think actually, for Lesser Evils, I think it does really work really well for his master as well. Like it's worked out that, we've chosen the right master for
Yes.
the right story.
Oh, yeah.
Very much so.
So,
Right then,
Yeah.
love, you got your website.
yeah. I do.
Okay, get your website up. Get some various favourite pictures
Okay.
that you like. Running out of time. This meeting will end in 10 minutes. Boys and girls, what's going to happen is the meeting will end. You'll hear me doing a lot of swearing whilst I set up a new one for everyone. Okay? If you're young, welcome to a new level for your lexicon. So,
See what? I'll do something better. I will show you my art portfolio.
but this
If you
is
want
why
it.
I'm rather pleased that we've got you on a video thing. I've chatted to artists before, and it's very difficult on audio, to be fair. But here, you can show your work. How long have you been illustrating?
Professionally, I've only been illustrating since Doctor Who on Twitch. Because that's kind of when everyone suddenly started to realise they liked my work and wanted to buy it off me.
Wasn't
But I've
that
been
an amazing experience? That first
really was.
Twitch, the second time round, a load of negativity had come into it, but that first one was just this huge party.
Yeah,
It was wonderful.
definitely so.
So, how
Honestly,
long
what
have you actually, have you been drawing for?
I've been drawing since I was about 15, 14. My best friend at secondary school was a very good artist. And I remember just being envious of her being able to draw things to the point where I was like, can you show me how to do that? And then she would draw stuff and I would copy. And then she would show me what I was doing wrong. I love Becky dearly. And then it got to a point where we both did digital art at GCSE, which was, I think at the time, this was 2006, so it was quite a new thing to do digital illustration in that sense. And we were quite lucky; it was quite advanced, and so they had Wacom tablets and they used Flash and Photoshop. So we did that, and then we both went on to study A-level art. It was when I was doing A-level art that I wanted to pursue animation. Again, I did all my drawing during 3 years studying animation in Bristol at UWE, the University of the West of England. And in that time, fell out of love with drawing, to be honest with you. I fell out in love with lots of things to do with animation because it was such a eye-opening course for me, what was expected by the industry. And it really, if you told me what I was getting into, I would have probably chosen a completely different degree. However, I met my husband on that degree.
We're all
I
lucky
met all
on
my
that one.
friends on that degree. Yeah. So in a sense, if it wasn't for the fact that I still did that degree, my life would not be what it is now. Because the people I met were via that degree, made me a Doctor Who fan, got me writing. So, it's odd how life works out. But I fell in love out of love with drawing and fell in love with writing the moment I left university, really, in like that last final year of uni. And it wasn't until I'd say 2015 when I started working for Animation Studio as a PA that I fell in love with drawing again. My husband was always an artist, so I love drawing as it is as a product. But to suddenly be like, oh, I can do a bit of that, and oh, I could learn. And it was really nice to befriend the crew that I was working with in Clothcat in Cardiff. And
That's
it was
a
great fun.
city.
Yeah, I love Cardiff.
So do I.
And yeah, it was there I started kind of falling in love with drawing again. And then I ended up working in a call center in Bristol. And during my downtime answering phone calls, I ended up doodling. And then when Doctor Who on Twitch started, because I was really into Doctor Who by that point, I was like, I'm going to draw from every episode. Not everything, but I'm going to draw something and try and, recapture the era while I'm drawing, and I'll post it whilst I'm drawing, watching it on Twitch. And by the end of the first Doctor era, I think I'd gained 300 followers. And then by the end of it, I had probably another 600 followers.
You have a very
just kind of kicked
distinctive
off from there.
style, to be fair. Do you want to show us some of
Yeah,
your
of course.
work?
So let me...
We've got 5 minutes.
That's all right, no worries. So...
Professional. We know that word.
Oh, I need to be given the permission to share screen.
Oh.
So if you go into, there should be like a...
multiple... Blah, 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 blah. Try that.
Yes, fantastic.
Sorry, I'm
right.
not used to Zoom.
That's all right, don't worry. So this is... I hope you can see it, guys.
There's a definite style there, isn't there? There's a...
Yes,
that is Sophie.
Yeah.
You look at that and you go, yep, that's Sophie.
Certainly recognisable.
Thank you. So, yeah, this is my portfolio. So if we scroll down, you might recognise Dom.
I honestly thought that when I saw it. I honestly did.
So, thank you. To be honest with you, I love drawing from reference, but I wanted to try and capture a pose that we didn't often see. And I remember really enjoying Dom's impersonation of that pose of Tom Baker. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to draw that and just stick Tom Baker's head on and see if it works. And it works so well. And I was so chuffed. And I was like, I obviously credited Dom to make sure. And the amount of people who went, why have you drawn Dom? I was like,
yeah, that was the first thing that hit my mind when I saw it. That's Dominic.
So,
oh
yeah.
my goodness, it's such an honour to have my body used in that particular utility. So,
well, okay. So what else have I got? So yeah, so I drew.
Oh, look, it's a blank
it's
open
fantastic.
face.
It is I was really chuffed with that one actually, because I do find Davison and Smith really hard to draw. So when I pulled Davison
Davison's
off,
notoriously bad. That's why we had the
Yeah.
photo covers on Target novels in the 80s. Sorry, I come
That's
out
all
a
right.
little
And then-
nonsense like that. Ah, there he is.
I had to put Hartnell in my portfolio because
I'm hoping you're going to do something for that Time Middler thing I did with Purvis.
Ooh. To be honest, I find it really hard to do fan stuff in that way, just because I want to, if I was to do something like that, I'd want to do the full gestures and the full poses and draw more than one, and it become I would go too far. Like I can't just settle for one drawing, which is why when I do an illustration, I like, that's one drawing, one image, one person. It kind of works. So like, that's the problem. If I get too invested in something, it won't get finished. So that's why I try and I have to focus what I do, if that makes sense. I'll show you what else I've got. So this was what I did
Oh, I remember this.
a little while ago.
Oh,
So that was quite fun. Again, just trying out different styles and different I mean, I think I was doing a lot of different things with line art. If you can see just between that one, which obviously is a lot more kind of textured in the way that I've done the coloring. This one is very much more, there's still texture, but the line art is a lot more bold. And I was just trying out different things. I think, let's look at the next one. So I was looking at what I would do for comic panels. So again, as part of my portfolio, I could prove that I could make a page look good. So I have my 13th Doctor one, which I did. And then I took a drawing I did for the Big Finish cover for Legacy of Time competition and adapted it so it would work for a comic cover.
Forgive me, I'm probably being stupid, but is that Benny down the front?
It is Benny down the front. I'm glad
Yes!
you This was drawn quite a few months ago, but I still liked the composition so much I had to keep it in. I think if I drew it again, I think the only thing I'm really proud of on that picture, I think Tom looks fun, Leela looks good, Benny looks good, and I think my Davison at the top again looks great. He looks quite chiseled. It looks quite heroic in that one. But yeah, I think I would probably want to draw them all again if I could. Maybe, you never know. It might be a project I do in a year or so. That's what I usually end up doing, is me drawing what I've already drawn. Let's see what else I can show you before it goes away. So yeah, just so I did an idea of Sarah Jane comic, and then I did my Doctor Who Series 12 promo, which was quite fun to do as well. And I think
Slightly
okay.
inaccurate there, love. They're
Which
wearing
one?
space helmets in space. They didn't.
Yeah, I know. I was playing. But this one, and it was just to show different things I could draw and different things. And I did Out of Time, I did Doug Ardo, I did Ian and Barbara Older, and then I did Ian Older giving Jodie a hug. So yeah, so I think that's the end of my portfolio.
Well, I think it's a
Brilliant.
very good
There's
showcase.
one more picture. Oh, two more.
Damn straight. Bill
So,
Potts and the 11th, 13th, 15th. Jesus. Curse you, Chibnall!
I think that's it. Yeah, that's my portfolio. So,
How did the writing kick off then? I mean, to the point where Big Finish are coming to you.
well, let's go to the beginning of this, unless you want to. Actually, I'll stop this now.
Ah, there we go. Yeah. Oh, hang on a moment. Have we gone? We've gone, boys and girls. What this means right this second is that I now need to create a whole new Zoom meeting. New meeting. Join with computer audio. Add participants. No, that's wrong. How do I add people? I don't know. Hang on a moment. I need to get a link. I don't know what Zoom does. Give me a link so people can bloody well come here. That's not it. Chat, that's not it. No. Okay, so let's go on to this now. Which doesn't help at all. Meetings. Show meeting invitation. And hopefully... Oh God, I hope I've got this right. Control C. Right, hang on, back onto the Twitter to message Sophie. This was going to happen, don't worry. Oh, come on. Oh wow, I've managed to keep my language quite chaste. Rather impressed by that, if I'm honest with you. Right, and then for the rest of them, they're probably on Discord. There we go. Fingers crossed. That's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. That's the right one, but it's not that one I want. Unless I've managed to kick myself out of my own meeting. Which, if I'm honest with you, oh, that's working. That's something. Is a good trick, even for me. Come on. Yes, so we might as well keep talking. I've loved Sophie's art for ages. Like I say, she has a particular style to her that is just really, really good. Can I invite? Where are we? Zoom meeting. Can I can invite. Hang on a second. Eddie? Brian? Okay. Then it'll come up with a thing saying, do you want them to come in? And I just bloody invited them. What do you think? Ah. 2 people are waiting. Admit all. There we go. Ah, that's odd. Okay, Dominic's having trouble getting back in. I wonder if that's the old meeting thing. Can I get a link to this?
It was just thrown us back into the old meeting again.
Ah, right. So I've sent Dominic the wrong link. There's a slight problem here. I don't know how to do this.
We don't have them on our
Ah,
thing yet.
there we go. Right, sorry.
Sophie is absolutely lovely.
I know.
You want Rob?
Yes.
I told you, rare sunshine. Ah, that was supposed to be try this, not try Zoom.
I wonder if she has a deviant art page I can look at.
How odd that you'd go for something that was deviant based.
It's a place for artists to post their stuff online.
Yeah, and I've seen some of it. I can see why you hang out there, you prevert.
Yes, because I go there and I look
I don't
at
want to
Phil
know.
Cho's
I don't want to know.
Phil chose Earth 27.
Ah, here
Is
she
this
comes.
anything to do with erotic rat art as well, Brian?
Yes.
Yes, thought so.
Yes.
Hello.
Here we go. Sorry about that, but at least we've got 40 minutes ish.
Hey.
I
that's
sent
good.
the wrong meeting link back out because I'm an idiot.
That's okay. What was the question you asked me? Sorry.
Why is a mouse when it spins?
I don't know.
You seriously don't know the answer to that one?
No.
Google is your friend.
I'll check. Oh, I think I know what the question was. It was you asked me about my writing, right?
Yeah,
It's an interesting actually because I was already like trying to break into professional writing anyway. I was currently in the middle of writing a short story about a boy in the 1950s who befriended a ghost dog for a short story anthology for a company called 18th Wall Productions.
I like that idea.
Yeah, so I wrote this story, or I was writing it, and then I went to Big Finish Day. And when I was at Big Finish Day, they talked a lot about writing Big Finish. And Alfie Shaw, who had recently become producer of Short Trips, was there. And I wanted to ask a question about how they found new writers, which I think is a pretty typical question that a
Don't
new
they
writer
have
would
open
ask.
slush pile times?
They don't. And the reason they don't do that, and I kind of get it, if someone, let's say, for example, I sent them a story about, I don't know, Daleks dressing up as, I don't know, clowns, and then all of a sudden it come up as a Big Finish audio, and I knew they'd actually read it and opened it,
Yeah,
I would
you'd
be
have
in
a
every
thing,
right to have a thing. So they don't open unsolicited scripts. They all accept pitches, but it's more of on a case of emailing to inquire, and if they say, okay, pitch us something, then you pitch it, then they say no. So it's kind of, that's how it works. But you have to prove that you can write. as well. So basically, he didn't tell me this in the thing. I asked, how do you get new writers? And he misunderstood my question. And he thought it was more in the case of how, like, what do writers need to be able to do or something like that. He completely misunderstood the question. And it was still an interesting answer because it was a different question that would relate to writing. And then I think it was about half an hour later, I was minding my own business and Alfie tapped me on the shoulder and went, I misunderstood your question. And I
That's
said,
decent.
oh no, that's all right. It was really interesting. He said, no, I completely misunderstood your question. I was a prat. What was your question? So I said
sweet.
what my question was, and he was like, oh, well, we're looking for new writers all the time, but we just can't take unsolicited ones for the reason that I gave. And why do you write? And I said, well, I'm trying to do professional work, and obviously hearing me not say I write fan fiction about Daleks is a good sign. You know, it's a green light of, oh, serious writer person, not just someone who likes writing about Daleks in their spare time. So they were like, okay, contact me in 6 months. Here's my email. And I was like, okay. But yeah, because I think that was the period they were looking for new short trips ideas. And anyway, I didn't even need to email because in 6 months, I then got an email from Alfie saying, are you still interested? We're looking for new subscriber short trip writers as how they test their new writers because they need to make sure they can actually do the job at hand. And that was kind of it, really. I did a story for them for the subscriber short trips. If you've got the subscription for Blood on Santa's Claw,
Yes.
I wrote a short story on that. So that is the 12th Doctor helping a little girl who's running away from home. Set in 1951, I believe. And it was originally a first Doctor story, which became a 12th Doctor story, both Doctors of which are close to my heart, so it was fine. And it went down really well to the point where Alfie asked me to do the Tom of Victorious. So, yeah. Nerve-wracking, terrifying, scary as hell, but that's kind of how it started. And I was already writing other things anyway, so the Ghost Dog story, which has a William Russell nod, did get published and was published in August last year. So that came out. And the other short story I did for the same company is coming out in an anthology at some point, which is 4 boys trying to deliver a manuscript of a lost Wilfred Owen manuscript before being chased by treasure hunters because they want the manuscript. It's fun. Yeah. So that's happening.
I love the fact you say that. It's fun. You're not just sitting there hitting keys. You're enjoying it.
Yeah, I mean, it's nerve-wracking. I mean, I don't know if you guys have heard the Stephen King phrase of sometimes when you write, it's just shoveling shit, but it's okay because once you get through, you suddenly realize actually it's all fine. Sometimes the best writing comes out of the worst place. Like, it's weird. Neil Gaiman did a thing. I don't know if you guys have done the masterclass stuff, but Neil Gaiman... That's all right. Masterclass is basically lots of different celebrities talking about their fields and showing you how they do them. And Masterclass for Neil Gaiman is writing about storytelling. And he does this really great thing. I've discussed this a couple of times now, where he discusses that as a writer, sometimes you are the first reader. So sometimes you are just absorbing everything that's going on and you're seeing everything that's going on and you are just writing it down. Like, it's not a stress at all. You're just there. The magic is there. Whatever's there, it's fun. It's eccentric. Everything, it's just flowing out of your fingers into the page or the keyboard or whatever. And some days, writing is being a bricklayer. And you're putting down word after word, but that brick's wrong. You need to remove that brick, put down another brick. That conversation is horrible. Why have I written this? Why have I done a scene again where 2 people are talking about something they already know? And sometimes that happens.
Oh, that's called EastEnders.
But sometimes what should happen is you write all that stuff, and then when you get the manuscript, when you look at the manuscript again, months later, days later, you should remember how you felt, but in the writing, it shouldn't be able to see it. And it's sort of humbling that you shouldn't be able to see it. That's sort of the point with writing, is you're getting the best and worst out of you. It should just be on the page. You remember
And
feeling
it's
those
down
things.
to the reader to take away,
Yeah,
not
that's
you.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. That's why I love writing so much. Because there's like, for example, with Master Thief, the amount of conversations that people are already like asking me about Master Thief, and I'm like, well, one, I can't tell you for certain reasons, and then number two, it's up to you. I have my ideas of where things fit in and what things happen, but it's yours now. But that's the cool thing is
Yeah.
it's yours.
Yeah.
If you think that it's a later Delgado, like in his story, then that's yours to say. But you might think it's an earlier Delgado. You might, it's not mine to decide. I've given you the information you need to know. It's now yours to take and believe what you will.
Well, as you've sort of gone there, the first master, because we ignore James Dreyfus, has landed on a planet, a very secure planet. In fact, to a certain extent, there's remind me a little bit of Time Heist.
Yeah.
And he's determined to go and raid the vaults for a particular map. And he's got himself a new gun. Oh, it's a corker of a gun, this one.
Yep.
That doesn't backfire at all, does it?
No, not in the slightest.
And he gradually murders his way down to the vault using this extra special gun, only to discover that possibly the gun might not have been the best thing to use on this particular race.
No.
And he starts to get problems as a result. And I'm saying no more about the plot.
Yes,
course
I was going to press the
Yeah.
button there.
Like,
Comfy chair. Stop.
No, it's it's as I think we said at the start. I can only imagine Delgado being in this. I
had
can't
to
imagine
be
another master.
Oh no.
Definitely not even Ainley.
And what I like personally is that you stick with the master throughout the story. You don't go off to start talking to somebody else or whatever. John Culshaw got given a poison chalice, I believe. How on earth do you impersonate Roger Delgado?
I think his attempt, because it can only be an attempt when you're impersonating. I know you know more about impersonating than I do. It must be so difficult because I can't even imagine how to impersonate a voice, let alone having to read a voice, put all that emotion in it, put everything about that character in it, and then convince hundreds of people, because it's hard. And I think actually listening to it, it's because of the way the story works. It works because of the kind of the pits and troughs of how the emotions work. You can kind of get away with it. I think it works quite well with him reading it that way.
What I think...
thought
Sorry, Eddie, please.
No. I was going to say, I didn't even treat it as an impersonation. I thought he was channeling Delgado. It just the inflections, the emotion. I thought it was excellent. Can I ask a very, very quick question? All right. Were you given a brief around how this was to set up, or is this totally and utterly just from your imagination, Sophie?
I did have a brief. There was kind of, we want this to kind of happen, but the majority of it was mine, in the sense of I come up with the setting, I come up with everything that kind of occurred within the story. So, but I was just told the master needs to get to here. How are you going to do that?
Be given a destination, and you figure out the.
All right.
Yeah, so which is because usually you don't do that. Usually you pitch something. So this one in mind, because I'd worked with Simon Gurrier before, who'd written both kind of outlines. He wanted to work with someone he knew and liked. So,
all I can say is was listening to it. I'm glad you talked about your writing process and how it's, because where it sits in timeline. Whereas I've made my mind up, and it made me very, very excited. So seriously, I thought it was great.
Cool. I'm glad, because that's the thing. I didn't want to sit here and be like, no, this is where it's set, because that's not part of the fun of it.
No.
Because that's the part of the fun of it is you can put it where you want. Like, it's not up to me. I have ideas. And also, what's nice about the Tom of Victorious project, if you're following it or not, there are elements of it where you're like, I wonder how that ties in. Because I'm sure there's more to come, and it'll be really interesting to see what happens. I mean, I have a few ideas.
Well, I'm a very crotchety old Scotsman. Pertwee was my doctor as a kid growing up. Delgado is the master. There is no other masters. It's Delgado. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was really, really good.
What I'd like is for John to do a full cast audio as the master, which will give him a chance to just concentrate on that, rather than having to also start thinking about the narration, the other characters.
Of course, yeah.
And working with other actors, it helps to define what you're doing.
Has there been a Tim Treloar Coleshaw crossover where Coleshaw's done Delgado before, or is this?
No.
Oh.
This was his first time doing Delgado for Big Finish. Delgado has been in a short trip which Simon wrote, which was The Switching, which I think I listened to a long time ago. I believe the premise of that is that the Doctor and the Master switch bodies.
Wow.
So the Master gets to be the Doctor for a couple of hours, and I don't think he enjoys the experience of having to pretend to be John. If I remember rightly, I think it was written in 2006 for Big Finish. Go check it out. It's a short trip, so it won't be expensive. Probably get it on download. But I remember chuckling a bit. I think it's quite funny. Yeah.
Dominic, what did you make of it?
Oh, you mean the story, the present story?
Yes, love. Yeah.
Sorry.
Hello.
You like the switching one? I haven't listened to that. What do I say? But yeah, honestly, I've listened to it twice now, and it was just honestly extremely good. It's just the way that you managed to get all the little mannerisms of Delgado's master and his little the way John Coleshaw actually spoke. It just felt like so genuine. It just felt like the character was just literally brought back to life. And it was, I mean, my personal headcanon is that it takes place after Frontier in Space, but we won't get into that. But yeah, it's just, I just honestly, the way your way with words is very colourful. You have that real sense of world building and everything, and describing the ways that the characters were died when they were shot. It was very grisly, but it paints a very vivid picture in your head, and it's just it makes for a very good experience that you can just so clearly have it all playing in your brain while you're listening to it. And sometimes some bits of writing can just it just creates a blank wall and you're not really sure what to imagine. But with yours, what we did with Master Thief, is all perfect. You could literally just imagine it as something from the 70s.
Just want you to realise we're not saying this because you're here.
Yeah, because I'm just saying like, thank you.
No.
Don't. This is a straight up review, all right? If we didn't like it, we'd wait until you're gone and slag you off behind your back.
That's how we operate.
Brian.
Yes.
This was a play made by English people and British people. Do you have them in America?
People? No. Okay. We are all fish tacos over here.
Fish tacos?
Like it.
Yes, it's an actual thing over here.
I want to be able to get some Mexican food, but it's impossible to get hold of in Crawley. It's really annoying. Anyways, what do you think?
I loved it. I like the story. I like the story. I'm gonna have a hard time trying not to spoil anything. Yeah, see.
You're like, no.
It's the same problem we have every week with the new Big Finish. We can't give the plot away yet. We've got to review it.
I do get what you said about getting a brief. They gave you an ending that you had to get to. Now, how the hell am I going to get there?
Well, I'll tell you something really interesting, actually. Like, my original brief was it was supposed to be in second person, which I think would have been very...
That would have been difficult.
It would have been very difficult. And I'm actually really glad that changed.
No.
but also, it was second person, and it was just really quite tough. So then when they said, actually, you know what, we've changed our minds, so I was like, oh my god. It was like, but that's again with Big Finish, everything can change on a dime. You just don't know what you're going to get, and I think that's part of one of the challenges. Is actually we've made this decision now, go change it, and you're like, okay. So which again is fine, and I kind of love that. As a writer, it's challenging and quite rewarding.
I get that. Yeah, the RPG we ran here a while back.
He killed Spider-Man.
I knew where we started. I knew where we finished. I was terrified how the hell I was going to get them there. I had no idea half the time. So, yeah, terror. Yeah, absolutely.
By the way, if your group has a space, Sophie, let me know.
I will.
Please.
We're so I'm in 2 groups at the moment, but they're all. It's so kind of. Well,
it's all caught up, isn't it? At the moment,
well, Dom will tell you. We're quite full on our Call Cthulhu group on a Tuesday. I love it actually. How are you finding it, by the way, Dom? Are you enjoying yourself?
Oh, I'm really enjoying it. It's a lot of fun, and especially with everyone, and just living that little world of being within our own version of Torchwood. It's all very good. It's all very. I really, honestly, have a great time, especially with the various characters that we've all concocted, and they're all very colourful.
All I'm going to say is roll sanity.
Yes.
Huh?
Roll sanity, Dom.
Roll sanity. Oh, well, I don't have any dice, but I'll say it's a 0.
Have you told anyone here the premise of the Call of Cthulhu game?
I haven't had the opportunity, but yeah.
Brian just never shuts up.
Well, but yeah, I mean, so we're in this rather marvelous Torchwood. Is it Missing in Action? MIA?
Yeah.
Yeah, little RPG, and we've all got our various little characters. I play a character called Alistair, who's a time agent, and that's all there is. Go through a lot of misadventures. Like we had to, well, not me personally, but one character is a TV host, and he got his arm chopped off, which was quite an incident. And and also the fact that he can into a tortured agent. So yeah, he's basically modelled after Philip Schofield. You should see the actual body. Not a picture of Philip Schofield.
It is amazing.
We have a version of Philip Schofield who's in Torchwood.
Yeah, it's so good.
If that's how you're going to take to sum up the whole thing, it's mad.
That
is
the
absolute
perfect RPG.
Amazing.
Well, I think the best part about our Call of Cthulhu thing is that it started with the premise that the characters that we created would be sleeper agents. So anyone that we designed would then suddenly become a Torchwood agent, whether they liked it or not. They'd remember that they worked for Torchwood and have to just deal with it. And our friend Philip wanted to create this kind of neurotic TV host with a drug addiction, who then turned out to be a Torchwood agent who was just a coward and was just like a proper techie. And then so he's then thrown back into the Torchwood world, and his person who's with him, the other sleeper agent, was primarily just like a really rotten lawyer, but then turned out to be an assassin as a sleeper agent. So he's just this rotten lawyer and ex-TV host are thrown into helping a descendant of Ian and Barbara Chesterton, which I'm playing because it's me, because she's a student who's time sensitive, not aware why, and they get thrown into all this absolute chaos. And then we run into Dom's character, and then Philip's character, so the Philip Schofield character, gets reverted back to his TV host brain. And it's just so much fun to do.
Hello.
But Tony, who is our game master, our DM, is very good at creating these really quite vivid characters and monsters.
He's so magical.
Is that Cross or Filer?
Sorry?
Tony, Cross or Filer?
Oh my goodness, cat.
Oh no, it's
Cat
our
attack.
friend Antonio Restelli.
Restelli, yeah.
Yeah, who's lovely, and he's been doing some great artwork
Bye
for
then.
you, Dom.
Yeah, he's been doing because I'm starting up an audio drama fan series based on Doctor Who Remnants. He's kindly volunteered to do
that reminds me.
the cover arts for it, and he's been doing an astonishing job. I'm forever grateful that he's working with me because the man is absolutely lovely, and he's just he's very kind. He's so kind and imaginative, and I could gush.
That reminds me, your friend got in touch.
Oh yes.
I love the idea. What a great concept. There might be a lot there for me at the moment, but I'll do it. I'm just not sure when the deadline is. No, I thought the concept of that was. I congratulate him, quite frankly.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. The second play is by Simon Gurrier, and it's called Sophie. Sorry? Lesser Evils?
Lesser
Evils.
This is an odd one, to be fair. I'm not sure what's in it for the Master. Basically, it's not stated in the play. My personal feeling was this was somebody from the dawn of time coming along and arranging lifespans for everything. And this person runs into the Ainley Master, who's been trapped there for a long time because the Time Lords have taken his TARDIS. I'm not sure what the Master was hoping to get out of this. That puzzled me. Somebody else might have picked up on something I didn't get. But again, John Culshaw. Oh, that cat-like voice. You know, the laugh. It's. Let's quickly dash into this. Brian, sweetheart.
Yes.
What did you make of this one?
I thought it was good. I like the fact that it was. How can I put this? It did begin at the beginning of the evolution for them, and they're telling it how things go out. And I liked it. Big evolution nerd. I like to see what's going to happen.
You mean you're not a creationist? Dominic,
no, don't say that. I'll get stoned around here.
Dominic, what did you make of it? We're going to do it very quickly.
Yeah. Well, honestly, it's one that I again enjoyed because, admittedly, I am personally a bit biased because Ainley is my master. Personally, he's the one that I really grew up with all the repeats on UK Gold, hearing John Culshaw replicate those tones, it's just like.
I'd just like to congratulate you for your second showing. There we go. Carry on.
What'd I do?
Nothing. No.
You put Ainley over Delgado.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Unworthy of the diamond logo, Dominic.
Oh, I can't help but
look at him! You just broke him. Look at the. He's got the puppy dog. Oh, how could you?
I really want to appreciate Ainley.
Do you know how many years?
Dominic, it will be in the post.
Do you know how many years I've been doing this show?
As bad as you guys roasting me over liking the Six Doctors costume. Just gang up.
Oh no, we love the Six Doctors costume, just not in the TV show. Which I know is a bizarre thing. Oh, Josh Snares has a new video out, trying to piece together a watchable version of the Ultimate.
Ultimate
Adventure.
Adventure.
Yeah, the Ultimate Adventure. Yeah. I look forward to watching it. Eddie, what did you make?
Right. So it was a good story. A bit like yourself, Siobhan. I kind of get stuck in terms of the narrative, in terms of what was trying to be achieved.
What
but
was
to be fair as well,
mainly, basically.
Yeah. I got a theme in terms of it was taking both masters and taking them in places, kind of in terms of character and emotions that you would not normally see them.
That's fair.
So I thought that was the theme of the two stories.
Yeah.
Right, Sophie, I am not a crawler, right? I honestly thought the way that you did it, it was narratively and structurally worked And like I said, I'm biased, right? Delgado, there is no other masters. Delgado is master. I get really excited, and my interpretation of the story, I came away from it thinking, "This, oh, yes, great, brilliant, yes." I listened to the other story straight after, and it's kind of unfair comparison. I'm going to go back and listen to it again. So I went from a position where I get really, really excited to listen to the second story, which gave it a lot to live up to, which is probably not a fair time. So I'm going to go and listen to it again. But I got the kind of the whole thing around. This was the master in acting. Is he or isn't he? I'm trying not to spoil this. It really was pretty difficult.
Sorry, wrong laugh.
With the story, it's basically, and just to summarize without spoiling it, it's the master defending an alien race from the Cthulhu.
Yeah, I didn't want to.
Yeah. But I get your point. Is that I think it's a slow burner. It's one of those ones that takes its time, really giving you information. And I think after, as you say, my one's quite fast paced. There's quite a lot going on, and then just ends on a, as it does, and then
we're gonna have to start up a new meeting soon.
If I could put it in parlance, right, that I can understand. It's like watching Pyramids of Mars and then going straight in and watching The Chase. It's an unfair comparison. I'll leave it there.
They are unfair comparisons.
Yes.
But thank you for comparing my story to the Waters of Mars, even though part of me goes, well, you should compare it to
Pyramids,
the Chase.
love. Pyramids.
Not pyramids, not waters.
Pyramids.
Oh, sorry, I meant pyramids. That's actually what I meant.
He's elderly.
Waters of Mars. No.
I have a nearly impossible
Waters of
question
Mars?
for Eddie.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to this.
A nearly impossible
That
question,
means we're
Eddie.
going to be made to review it now, aren't we?
No, we're not reviewing any new series because we're doing reactions.
Good. You've just got one.
Let's you go.
So, Eddie,
Go on.
Delgado or McGowan?
Oh, it's difficult.
Ooh,
No.
lovely question.
Told you. Yeah.
Magoon. Sorry. Always Magoon. Always Pat.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Here we go again. It
This is a
tires
prisoner
me.
question,
It really
which I
does
realise
tire
that-
me having to do this.
Because I've not watched The Prisoner yet. It's on my list. It's
Oh.
on my list to watch. I'm
Sophie,
very excited. I'm
treat
sure I will love
yourself.
it. But I will.
We did a watch through.
Yeah, I'm currently watching Time Slip, so that's where I am, and then I'll see what The Prisoner has for me. So yeah.
Oh, that's my guilty pleasure. I'm Prisoner fanatic.
Cool.
Which
Cool.
has been really useful during.
Yeah, it's prepared me. It prepared me for this. This is nothing. Great.
Just you wait. So anyway, the first Doctor Who, possibly, we're not sure anymore, or as it says on the TV21 EP, Doctor Who, Ian Chesterton and the girls, Vicky and Barbara. Have you heard that, Soph? It's out there. It is out there. The Century 21.
And the girls.
Yeah, that's how it is. They've been
Nice.
running from the Daleks for 2 years. Radioactive humanoids. What flavour is that ice cream?
Don't cough it back up.
That's my job. Right, so don't worry about it. Trust me. Basically, at the end of the previous episode, which was the end of the Space Museum, we ended up on Skaro. And the Daleks are after Doctor Who, Ian Chesterton, and the girls Vicky and Barbara. You've got to listen to it. David Graham does the narration, and it is so intense. And it depends which version you get of it, because you'll either get a shimmery Barry Gray piece of music, or you'll get the Eric Winston Orchestra version of the Doctor Who theme, which, because it was the first Hartnell thing I'd ever heard, I thought was the original version of the theme tune.
Oh gosh.
Suffice to say, I was delighted when I had to be proven wrong. You've got to listen to it. If I can find, I know I've got it on a hard drive somewhere. It's out there.
I'd love to listen to it somewhere. Yeah, I'll see
It's
if I can
just
find it.
wonderful. It's a telling on a little disc. just a 7-inch disc of episode 6 with sound clips and everything else like that. And it made it sound so much better. So, the Daleks are after them. And so they land on Iridius. They don't know the Daleks are after them just yet. They only discover it after, for some stupid reason, they get caught out in a sandstorm. And to try and beat having a Dalek come out of the Thames, they tried to have a Dalek come out of the sand. And the initial attempt at that was a full-size Dalek with a Land Rover pulling it. That didn't work. What you see is a model. And after that, it's the perils of Pauline. It's adventure of the week. We got 5 minutes. And every episode, 1, possibly 2 different locations. Up until we hit Mechanus, where we're supposed to infiltrate and kill. And where I should imagine an awful lot of people's hearts were broken. Because Ian and Babs leave. I know. Gently, love. Gently.
They moved to Surbiton. He changed his name to Tom. They stayed next to 2 nut jobs that started doing their own living and off the land. It's fine. There's a follow-up.
Sorry, are you saying Babs is Margot?
Yes.
She's not posh enough to be Margot. She's
from
mucking like
bloody
there's no
Birmingham.
tomorrow. She'd lend him
I'm
a
glad-
cardigan.
I'm Glaswegian. An amoeba that comes out the sea's posher than me, so she's posh enough to be Babs.
That's true. Yeah, so the chase, boys and girls. Sophie, we come to you first of all, as you are our guest. You have 4 minutes.
I love the chase. I love the chase because it's fun. I love the chase because it is adventure of the week, which means it's kind of okay if you didn't enjoy the last episode because you're going to get something else this episode. We get to meet Peter Purvis as Morton Dill. Can we just not love Morton Dill forever, please? Because it is just the funniest way to introduce Peter Purvis to all of Doctor Who.
But the thing
Right.
is, that's what got him the role as Stephen.
Exactly. I mean, I don't know if you may have heard this story before, but I went to a convention in Manchester. This was in 2019, I think. And basically, Peter Purvis was there talking about how he got the role. And how he describes it is that he did his rehearsals for Morton Dill, I think, on like the Wednesday before they recorded on the Thursday. And then they went to the pub. And when they were at the pub, they all got on really well. Apparently, they always went to the pub after rehearsals. Sounds very 60s.
It
and they
just
all at the
sounds
pub.
very actly.
Very, very much so. But they're all having a really good time, and he got on really well with Bill and Russ and Jackie and everyone. And
Oh,
Verity
notice how
noticed
she's on
this.
first name terms now. Russ.
Shut up. I always call him Russ. I've called him Russ for ages. But yeah, anyway, at that time, they had only very recently kind of said that they were leaving at the end of the coming episodes. And Verity noticed that, you know, Bill and Peter got on. And she went up to Bill apparently at this after this like pub meeting and just went, "What do you think of him?" Bill was like, "Yeah, he's all right. What? Like, do you want him to stick around?" And it was like, "Yeah, okay." And that literally was how it was. They
That's
just
a
went,
really good way of doing it, considering how badly Bill
What-
took to change.
exactly. So like, do you like him? Do you want him to stick around? Verity knew exactly how to kind of deal with this in this situation. And yeah, and obviously like it was a shame because like Russ and Jackie, they all got on really, really well. And it was like, oh, you could have had all of them. But no, they were leaving. Yeah. But no, back to the chase. I love the chase. I think the mechanoids are great. I can't help myself. I just like the mechanoids, okay? They're just really interesting. I'm just like, these poor robots are just on this planet and obviously are there built for a purpose they can't utilize because the humans didn't turn up. So they have no purpose. So I guess their programming has just made them believe that what they're doing is correct until their humans turn up. But then it's so odd. So yeah, I find it really good. I love the House of Horrors episode because again, what's going on there? Like, what is actually going on? No one knows what's going on. I love that there's a great Target storybook thing. I don't know if you've read this Target storybook.
Yes, I did.
So,
yes.
Did you read the one based on the House of Horrors? which is great.
It's a while ago
Basic-
now.
Basically, the story is that they believe they've left Vicky in the land of fiction. So it merges the Mind Robber with that episode of The Chase, which means that Ian and Barbara and the Doctor sort of have a adventure, believing they're in the land of fiction, trying to find Vicky, where obviously Vicky's actually on the Dalek time machine. So it's great. I just really like The Chase. I like it's fun. I think the emotional impact of the end is obviously very powerful, seeing Ian and Barbara go, but also the episode with the Vicky and the time machine I really love, because that's the moment where you see the Doctor's most ultimate growth, which is that he is willing to do something for one of his companions, which is when Ian and Barbara turn round, and so Ian and Barbara turn round to the Doctor, and they're like, "What do we do? What can we do to go back for Vicky?" And the Doctor's like, "I don't know," because obviously at this point we have watched him travel from place to place, unable to return, something that has pissed off Ian and Barbara for God knows how long, right? In layman's terms, it has pissed them off for this long. Ian definitely wants to go home. Barbara's enjoying the ride, but she knows she also has to go home. That's how I've always seen it. Like they've allowed themselves this disbelief that they'll get home eventually, even though they kind of know in their hearts that the Doctor doesn't know what they're doing.
Have you read The Crusades, Doctor and the Crusaders?
I have. It's been a long time though.
There's a lovely introductory piece about Ian and Barbara, showing how much they changed over the years, over the time with the Doctor.
Yeah, they've changed, and the Doctor's changed. I mean,
oh yes,
God,
no one can survive a tongue lashing from Barbara Wright.
It's true. And yeah, I think it's just great. I think it's a fun serial. It's not for everyone. I admit that it is a bit Marmite. It depends on what you're looking for in Doctor Who. I look for this family. Basically, they are a family doing Adventure of the Week and the Daleks. Like for me, that's Doctor Who to me.
Cool, blimey.
And parts of it being ridiculous, and I'm kind of okay with that. So I love The Chase. I always give it a really high score. I'm also really subjective about it because I really like the episode because my favorite characters are in it. Like for me, Vicky's really adds to the team. I think she's great. Dennis Spooner and the team, everyone has done such a good job at making us really care for these characters. So yeah, I think it's great. So I will always defend The Chase to the hilt, even when someone looks at me like, "Are you kidding me?" And I was like, "No, I'm not. I really like it." So much so that someone made me these last year.
Oh.
So my friend Emily makes these. So I can.
Does
tell
she
you
have a
where to
shop
go.
where she puts things that she finds?
No, she makes them, so you can get them commissioned to be made.
There's no, I don't know, ragdoll there. No.
Professor Yaffle.
A carved wooden bookend in the shape of a woodpecker.
We're showing our age, Siobhan. We're showing our age.
I'm so sorry. I think I'm starting to get it, but no.
Bagpuss!
Bagpuss references. No.
But
Right,
yes. Anyway. So.
Right, what we're going to do now, seeing as you have sung the praises to the rafters, has put Eddie in a wonderfully awkward position in which I am going to enjoy
So
intensely.
sorry. Like I said before, it is not for everyone, and I'm kind of okay with that.
Viewers in Scotland have their own programming.
I don't mean to laugh,
Yes!
but I'm just happy.
He's wearing
it's not
the
me
troll
for a
hat I
change.
sent him.
Go for it.
Yeah, because I bloody feel like a troll. So for every reason that Sophie said she liked it, I hated it. It was Adventure of the Week. It was the comedy player. It was Daleks that had absolutely no threat. They had a bloody random episode where we had Dracula and Frankenstein robots.
No,
They could just
don't
tear-
go.
They could just tear through, tear through a Dalek. We have a whole episode that was just set up to have a Mary Celeste joke, that have Daleks randomly falling off of boats. We have women and children getting killed off in that episode for laughs.
Ian gets bonked on the head by accident.
Yes,
He does.
and it's like, oh, wasn't that a jolly thing? And he quite rightly says, no, actually it wasn't. It was pretty sore.
Which does actually make me wonder if Ian realised they'd left her behind and just thought, sod that, I got a headache.
I would have left her behind. At one point, I started rooting for the Daleks. I have never rooted for the Daleks ever. The Peter Purvis's audition is the most annoying bloody Texan in the planet on
Maybe,
top of the...
but at least we finally had official confirmation that the Dalek
Brian,
spots
I
were
will
blue.
hand over to you quickly, right? What would you have done if you were the Dalek and you confronted this person on the top of the... would you have done? Dalek, what was this Dalek thinking? It was like he didn't have the answer, dead. Yeah. Apart from that, I really enjoyed it.
Eddie, I love you. This is great. No, genuinely, I love it when people. But the thing is, it just goes to show what Doctor Who is, right? Like we can have these contrasting opinions, but we can also have this chat where I don't feel like you're insulting me. It's just the fact that we don't like the episode. That's it.
We're just not taking it seriously, to be fair.
I'm wearing a troll hat just to show that I don't take it too seriously.
But no. But what I mean is, isn't it refreshing to know that one man's trash is another man's treasure, right? It's
Exactly.
so cool
Yep.
how Doctor Who could do this.
It's like life on Mars. Everybody adores life
Everybody
on Mars, and
loves it.
Brian doesn't.
I can't stand the damn show.
Core-eyed kitten. Yes, isn't he just?
I appreciate as well that this is part of Doctor Who's history. Without this, we don't have what we have today. Without this, we wouldn't have had Pertwee. So it's a case, I acknowledge it. But by the end episode, when the mechanoids came in, yeah, great, yeah, okay, Christmas bauble attack. But apart from that, that's a bit more serious, and it was like the whole thing with the mechanoids and the Daleks coming to the fore. And I thought, great, yes, we'll turn the corner. I loved the model in the last one, the kind of the mechanoid city. And then we have A Hard Day's Night and with Tom and Babs running about London getting attacked by pigeons.
That's just wonderful.
No!
It's a wonderful send-off to them.
Look at how Amy and Rory get sent off and how the drama...
Look at the
there,
bigger budget that they had.
Story writing. It's story writing.
To be fair, classic companions get a very bad rap when they get to
That's
leave.
true.
New
That
Who companions actually get time
Dodo.
and development to leave.
Part of me, we just thought with Tom and Barbara, sorry.
You are obsessed with the good life, aren't you?
The Good Life today.
To be fair to you, I bloody love the Good Life, so you can keep saying Tom and Barbara, I'm with you. It makes me giggle every time.
Ian and Barbara, right, they deserve more. They deserve more of a send-off than this.
I would have liked to have seen the Doctor say goodbye to them on camera, or them say goodbye to the Doctor, instead of just leaving it, right, they go in and they sort it out, and then he's just like,
Hey, Harvey. Hi, Joe Gel. I'm sorry if I've mispronounced that. We've got new people tuning in because Sophie.
Hello.
Which is good. We're here every Sunday.
I'm just going to
I've forked out for premium.
I'm going to hide behind the cute dog now, okay? I'll just hide behind the cute dog now.
He's a doggy.
Have any of you read the BBC book, The Time Travellers?
No. Would you recommend it?
I would recommend it. They do some really... It's Simon Guerrier again. I don't mean to blow his trumpet, but it is my favourite Doctor Who book, and it's my favourite Ian and Barbara book. It plays a lot with alternate timelines and stuff like that, but he kind of develops on the Chase stuff. And I think because of that, it helps me appreciate the Trace more in terms of how it ends. So maybe...
Could you post that? Could you post that in chat or something? Because I'm going to go and read that.
Also, are you a fan of the War? Get over my brain. The War Machines. Do you like the War Machines episode? Have you seen that one?
Yes.
Yeah. It's kind of.
I tolerate it.
Okay. If the War Machines didn't go according to plan, this is what the Time Travellers is about.
Okay.
So it's Ian, the Barbara, Doctor, and I want to say Vicky, but it might be Susan. My brain is not quite remembering.
That's right. Neither
Arriving
did the Daleks.
2006,
Righty-ho. We need to move on.
but written
So-
in 2005. So very interesting to see how you guys feel about that one. I will I'll send the link to Siobhan so you can
Okie
have the-
dokie.
Thank you,
Dominic, The Chase. We're
Well,
not
that
talking
was-
Bradley Walsh, but have you found out yet if that is why it's called The Chase?
No.
Probably at this point. Who even
We're
knows?
at to probably, which after Chibnall, that's fair. You see, Sophie, when The Chase has been going a long time, when did it start, Dom? Do you know?
Destroy. Right, there you go. There you go.
It was before 2005, wasn't it?
What?
The Chase.
What the game show?
Yeah.
No, it came out in 2009.
Oh, in that case, no, sod all
Oh,
that.
I thought you meant the movie with Charlie
Sorry,
Sheen
no,
and
that's
Christy
gone.
Swanson.
Sorry, no. No. I'm sorry, Brian, you were wrong. Brian, talk to us about The Chase.
Let me see. 6 episodes, 30 minutes apiece. I want 3 hours of my life back.
25 minutes apiece. Thank you very much, young man.
Doesn't matter.
For the record, I found it was quite fun just to counterbalance.
There we
Yeah.
go. See, 2 for, 2 against. You're the tiebreaker.
Right, there you go.
I got to be in the right mood for it, to be fair, and I would rather listen to that short Century 21 mini EP with Doctor Who, Ian Chesterton, and the girls Vicky and Barbara. He just says it so seriously. Ah, dear, oh dear. Hi, Jess. If you're free tomorrow night, I will try and do that ghost game thing with you and Brian. I'm not promising anything there because my brain is mush. Right, Dom.
I honestly think so. Obviously, it's an age thing. Me and Brian are jaded old men now. Sorry, Brian, but we are. Maybe it's just we've lost the enthusiasm of youth.
Don't be sorry. I fly that flag proudly.
Yeah.
I have earned every single one of these gray hairs.
I'm older than both of you.
Oh, you're young as spirit, Siobhan.
I
Oh,
take
what's
the
that?
light out of things. Whimsy is my watchword, quite frankly.
That whimsy doesn't exist in the
Which
Scottish dictionary.
is
It's not in the Scottish
oh
dictionary.
bollocks! I've heard you swear.
Oh.
The Scots forget that realms of fantasy with your swearing.
How dare you?
I think you've done an amazing thing for the English language. Quite frankly, my hat goes off to the Scots. Best sense of humour and, quite frankly, the best swearing. Okay, so all of us enjoyed The Chase. Shut up. And we've got guests. So next week, because I'm going to pile the work onto them for this one, we're watching Ambassadors of Death. John Pertwee's story from Series 7, of which I must say I'm very fond.
Now you're talking.
So there is that. I don't know what the big finish is that we're going to be listening to because I don't know what's coming out this week, as usual. So there's that.
I can tell you. Hang on.
I'll
However-
just listen to Master Thief again then. Sorry, I'll just listen.
Oh, you guys.
Are you going to start
Okay.
sending her invoices for reviews?
Lord.
Hang on, I can tell you. I think if you're following the Time Lord Victoria stuff, I believe that the next one to come out is
What, this week coming?
Is it Echoes? Is it the one with McGann?
I thought it was a McGann one on the 14th, but I might be wrong.
That's a mystery.
think
We'll
I'm
find
wrong.
out.
Odd.
We'll
Okay.
find out. It's cool. So let's move on now to Brian's favourite time of the week. Life on Mars. Series 2, Episode 1, with the absolutely amazing Mark somebody or other whose name escapes me, but he was in...
Mark
Warren.
Warren.
Mark Warren, thank you. Yes, he was in Love and Monsters, which I love. Yes, basically Sam's not feeling too well. And I forgot to introduce Brian to the concept of Morecambe and Wise before watching this. The whistle. Morecambe and Wise were probably the most successful double act to ever exist in Britain. There's no two ways about it.
And a dick.
Not and Deck. Sod this. I know it's not actually Doctor Who, but fuck it. Yeah.
Large.
And their signature song was "Bring Me Sunshine in Your Smile, Bring Me Laughter All the While." And so you had this slow. I know I can't sing. You had this being whistled. And indeed, there's a big poster of Morecambe and Wise at the start on the wall. Again, this is another Brit reference. Extremely doubtful you're going to get. I really should have warned you about it.
I don't think it would have made a difference.
The thing is, poor old Sam's getting into a lot of pain, and he keeps hearing this guy talk to him. Meanwhile, there's all sorts of naughtiness happening, and him and Gene Hunt go to sort it out, and it's this guy, but the 1973 version of this guy. Sam has to try and stop the future from happening. The future mostly concerning this guy's girlfriend. Not going to give it away, because it really is it's on a tipping point on that one. You need to watch it to see. Ray gets promoted back to sergeant. And a certain phone number from Hyde is revealed. You're going to want to make a note of that phone number, Brian. It's going to be around for a long time.
Unfortunately. Hey, you missed one high point of it. Annie gets promoted.
Yes, she does.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
About
Annie,
bloody
who's
time.
been carrying this entire freaking squad most of the time.
I love Annie.
Solid
Fair.
police work, due
Fair.
diligence, top-notch psychiatry. She finally becomes a DC.
I would like to now
Or
turn
DI,
around
sorry.
and say to Sophie, as you're our guest, we turn to you first, which means you've got to come up with lots of things that other people haven't said. You get a free run at it. We'll just have to dodge around you afterwards.
I haven't watched it in a long time, but I read the synopsis today to jig my memory. I love Life on Mars anyway.
See, Brian, see?
But I do think it is a very British thing.
Yes.
And a bit of a British, we say this about Doctor Who as well, but Life on Mars feels very specifically British in the sense that its history is also very prominent, where I think American history at that time was also very different. And I think it's quite hard, for an American audience to look at that and go, that wasn't the 70s, that was, whatever.
Well,
I think that also might take you out. Or is it just the story, you just don't like how... Because I'm curious
care
now.
about these characters.
Okay,
That's my main problem.
But you like Annie. You like Annie a lot.
I like Annie. I like how she's been coming up. I like her storyline.
Oh.
You'll like Alex Drake, trust me.
Sam's storyline. I mean, is he in a coma? He's
Well,
in a coma.
Are you sure now?
I've been saying it since.
No, you gave up saying it. You just said you didn't care.
Yeah, because it's like you kept asking, is he in a coma? Yes, he's in a fucking coma.
Dominic, bring some sanity to these proceedings, please.
Okay, well, I thought the episode, well, you say sanity, but it's more or less an episode where
Shit.
Sam is basically going mad again. And I find it a bit hard to watch when he's going on his big rants about how this girl's going to get murdered and he's from the future and everything, because he does come across like a bit of a lunatic. And even when he's going on about to the boss and he's saying, you know. And I'm like,
That is a question, to be fair,
yeah.
that
I
lasts through to the end of Ashes to the Ashes. Does Gene know?
This is true. I mean, it does give you the vibe that things happening to the comatose Sam affect his inner reality. It makes you wonder about that. I thought the episode was just like it was just another look into Sam's psyche, which I do like, but it's like it's difficult to watch at times. But
Go on, sorry.
No, you.
I was just going to say, do you feel like it fits better into a series 1 Life on Mars than does 2. I do feel trying to remember the episode, it does
Yeah.
feel like it belongs in that kind of early hazy days of Sam still getting used to this random new reality, that it does beginning a series 2 with him, because it seems like he's accepted it quite a lot in the end
Yeah.
of series 1, even with everything that's happened. You would feel that
Well, again, this is the first
shouldn't
story of the
be.
new seasons. Therefore,
Yeah.
they're setting it up again.
yeah
There's
Yeah,
a certain
I
amount of
guess-
that needs to happen.
yeah I guess
Well,
so.
it
True.
also brings up the question of predestination.
Mm.
Sam's in the past affecting the past, so was he always supposed to be in the past affecting it?
Yeah, exactly.
Time travel.
And- Yeah,
Don't
it's
you just
kind
love
of.
it?
It's mad. I love it. It's so
By
bad.
and large, the paradoxes.
Dom,
work out.
carry
Don't
on, my
worry
sweet.
about it.
Please.
But yeah, I mean, it does kind of lend that aspect to it. I was gonna say, like, it does feel like it's a sudden jog going from him accepting, yeah, I guess this is where place ain't too bad, to being like, oh, I've got to go home. It's very suddenly, but at the same time, it's understandable when you're confronted with the scenario that he was presented with, a potential murder that he had worked hard to put away. Being right in front of him, again, free and ready to go, but he knows something is going to happen because of this guy, so he wants to stop it happening. But of course, again, the more you try to change the future, the more you're going to ensure that it's correct. So, I would say it was a strong opener because it really rammed home everything that is going to become important throughout the season, and really make sure it keeps you on your toes. So you don't be like, it's just a fun little cop drama now.
yeah,
No, it isn't.
The overarching stuff does start to kick in now.
Yeah.
Whether you get any answers or not, I'm not going to say, Brian. However, I am going to
It's
turn to
okay,
Eddie because he
I'm good.
hasn't had a chance to do speaking for a while, and being Scottish, he'll explode.
Oh, it's true. Yep. You don't want that cholesterol all over the screen.
No,
so,
that would be terrible.
No. So the only I don't think I've got much to add, more to add, but obviously Manic Sam is too reminiscent of Sims, who eventually becomes the master. That's correct, isn't it? Sims becomes. No, it's not, because there's only Roger Delgado. I've already stated there is only one master. Enough of this nonsense, right? Let's not go there. Yes, thank
Sasha
you. Yeah,
Derwin.
Cotties. Sorry, no. I love Ashes to I love Ashes to Ashes. Also love Life on Mars as well. Funnily enough, which is what we're reviewing.
Useful, really, considering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, it's the references to Cannonball, the
Cannon and Ball.
yes, well, you said Britain's top double act, so that was Cannon and Ball, wasn't it, in the 70s and 80s?
I am going to slap the back of your legs when we get to Hooverville. I really, really am. At least you didn't
Sorry.
bloody say little and large.
Oh, I
We
was
have an
thinking,
ocean between us.
Eddie a
thank
little.
God.
God rest his soul.
Yeah,
Eddie
but he's
Labs
strong
even.
opinions on the two Ronnies.
And then there's the
It's
two
two
Ronnies. Yeah, but nobody could touch
No,
Morecambe and Wise.
Markham and Wise, and they translated over to America and did well as well, Brian. I think they were on Carson and stuff like that for.
Before my
No.
time watching late night.
Oh right, well you're not allowed up that time
It
of
really
night.
annoys me I don't get to see
No.
Colbert over here.
No, again, Life on Mars, music, David Bowie references. That's just totally right up my street. I can see where you struggle though, Brian. The references are quintessentially British.
Yeah.
It's not so much the references, it's been the characterization. I mean, the only one who's gotten solid characterization is Annie.
Well, it is
Yeah.
grim up north.
But even Gene Hunt is a reference to the kind of your typical hard-nosed detective that were.
Well,
staking
as I
Sims
showed you
TV.
before we started doing that,
Regan.
Jack Regan from The Sweeney.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Trying to sort of at least give you some sort of footing in it, but I'm going to be honest with you. It's difficult to do that. I can
I honestly
understand
think-
where you're coming from, Brian. You're wrong, but I can understand where
Well,
you're coming from.
I keep telling you guys every week, watch Intruders with John Sims. It's on Amazon. You can watch it. He blows up the screen. It's amazing.
Is it British or American, Brian?
Canadian.
Ooh.
Oh right.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, interesting.
Trust.
So
Very
sensible
trust.
Americans Okay. The people living above the crack house.
And suddenly we've lost
Desperately
the Canadian
wishing
viewers.
for the South Canadian Sea. So,
I honestly think when we get to Ashes, if you're still on that journey with us, Brian, the references will make more sense.
well,
I'm going
they'll
to be on the
they'll be more
journey.
recent,
It's
to be fair.
just,
They'll be
do
10
I care
years
about
later.
if the boat's sinking or not?
Just be glad this, well, Ashes to Ashes, doesn't end the same way that the American Life on Mars did, which had Matthew Graham, after he'd finished talking to them on the phone, not sure whether to laugh or cry.
Oh.
Well, after watching that first episode, I was glad it ended either way. The American Life on Mars?
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Now that's interesting, because it actually did quite well for itself.
I was really happy it ended.
Fair enough. Okay, that's not a problem. Who hasn't done
we ask the-
talking yet?
Can we ask the killer question? Sophie, you never did tell us what ice cream you were eating because you were eating this.
Cookie dough.
Sorry, I was eating cookie dough.
Good
Ben and Jerry.
choice.
I
Good
gave away a tub
choice.
of chocolate brownie.
Now, there's something we can
Right.
all agree on.
Nice.
Yes, I know you're there. Oh, come on, man. Come and say hello to the world. Show them your bottom.
Oh,
Mrs. Chestnut, the usual pain in the ass.
hey.
Who's a handsome boy?
I met a baby Rottweiler called Heidi today. She's 8.
Oh,
I was like, she's very cute.
There's a thing. I think you mentioned something about Facebook. It might have been Brian. Oh, I can't remember who it was. No, it was Stella I was talking to earlier this morning. But there's something else on there which is basically, I don't get it with cat people. They have cats at home, but as soon as they step out and they see another cat, they go completely loopy again, as if it's a brand new species. It's very true. Oh, how's Ollie, by the way?
Ollie's good. I'm surprised you've not seen much of him this evening. He's probably sat with Jamie in the living room or something. For those of you who don't know my cat, Dom has seen my cat. He's 8 now. He's an 8-year-old tuxedo cat, but he's a rescue because he has HIV or FIV, feline AIDS, so he can't go outside.
Oh, bless
But
him.
he's a tubby, solid as a rock cat. He's bigger than most toddlers. He he acts like most toddlers. He does not leave your side. He does not being left alone even. I love him dearly with all my heart. He's probably one of the few cats I do love, because cats don't seem to like me very much. I am more of a dog person. However, Ollie has kind of converted me a bit. I do love Ollie very much, and now I am a bit better with cats. But before, I originally wanted to get a cat because my husband loves cats, and for his birthday, I was like, well, our landlord has said we could have a cat and we could rescue a cat. So we went to the rescue here in Bristol, and Ollie was one of 3 that was suitable for where we live.
It's
We
a
live in
horrible
2-bed.
thing having to choose, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, luckily, out of the 2 cats, the other cat didn't seem to wasn't very keen on me, to be honest. She was just staring at me no. She just walked off. But Ollie was very much like a dog, where he just wanted your attention. So we sat down in his little box, and he just sat on us and just wanted cuddles. And we were like, nah, that's the one. He's
right,
the one.
hang on. We need to clear something up here. You have Ollie.
Mm-hmm.
Brian has Ace.
I have Ace and Rex.
Don't
Well,
encourage her, by the way, Eddie. Eddie has Harvey. What dog or cat do you have, Dominic?
Well, I have neither technically.
He's
But,
got a goldfish!
Don't even have that. I used to years ago. I used to have a cat, and then
The goldfish
away.
vanished.
I had a goldfish, and then the goldfish passed away. My girlfriend had 2 cats, then one of them passed away,
They
and
do that,
so
though, don't they? Do?
yeah, it's. But we've got one left, and his name's Henry. He's a very much a loner, but he likes showing affection when on his terms. He's very nice little one. But the one that passed away recently, Eddie, was probably the most loving creature I've ever met. And he was just came and cuddled and just sat on my lap and everything. And this was like not long after I'd even got with Katie. So I was just like, oh, he's sweet. And then it passed away a couple of months ago. I was just like, my heart is broken.
Hang on. You and Manning?
No.
Just checking, all right? Just checking.
No, she's way out of my league.
That's very true, to be fair. I think she's out of everybody's league.
Yeah.
Quite frankly. She has
Bless
a
her
league
stuff.
that she's built herself and sod everyone else.
Anyone that comes close to that league must be an exemplary creature.
Indeed. We love Katie Manning.
Oh, yes.
Right, so that's it. An hour and a half later. That is it for the show. Next week, the Ambassadors of Death. The next Tomorrow People's story. Is this the Spydron one, Brian? Is it the Vanishing Earth? Which one is it?
The Vanishing Earth, yeah.
Oh, I like
Spydron.
the Vanishing Earth. It's got... Oh, my brain just does not work.
Got a bunch of eco stuff.
Guy who played Tobias Vaughn. Marvick Chan. Kevin Stoney. I got there eventually. We'll watch that. We don't know what the big finish is that we're going to listen to, but if nothing drops, Eddie will be quite happy to listen to Master Thief.
I'll listen to Master Thief again anyway.
And episode 2 of series 2 of Life on Mars.
Yay.
That was very Trump-like. That was really very Trump-like.
It's a tremendous show. It's the best show. Fantastic show.
It is
I'm
show.
not on it, but it's awesome.
Before we finish, I have one question for those who've listened to Master Thief, which isn't a spoiler. You can just say yes or no. Did you hate me for the reference I made in the vault of one of the things that the Masters discovers?
No.
No.
I was waiting for someone to shout at me.
No,
Nope.
little things like that make me giggle.
Okay, good. I wanted to cause that kind of giggle.
Yeah.
So that
I
was,
love
that was-
little... It's little tips of the head that if you know what it is, it's cool. If you don't know what it is, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, cool. Okay. That was,
Sophie,
that was the one
sweetheart,
question.
you did an amazing job with this.
You really
You really,
did.
really
Oh,
did.
yeah. Yeah, totally.
Thank you.
Absolutely incredible.
You've heard my review of The Chase. You heard my review of yours. I am a miserable sod. I really enjoyed
This
your
is true.
story.
Thank
Yeah.
you. And thank you for having me on here. It's been very nice to talk to people about all sorts
You're
of different
always
things.
welcome just to come back and hang out.
Cool. Awesome.
All right, no interview or anything else like that. We just sit here and chat and talk nonsense about Doctor Who and whatever. You're
Sounds
welcome.
great.
It's pretty much what we do every week.
Yeah, because
Sounds good.
It's
we've
fun.
got nothing better, really,
Yeah.
to do. Actually, I've said this before. Also, I don't think I've said it on the show. This is the highlight of my week doing this with you guys. It really is.
Yeah, it's a good laugh. I enjoyed it too.
It's fun. Yeah.
Sophie, you've been asked to play Ghost Hunters with us. It's a game called Phasmophobia. No, Phasmophobia.
Oh.
I do apologise.
Phasmophobia.
So I've heard of Phasmophobia. I've seen people playing Phasmophobia. I think I would cry if I played Phasmophobia.
I'm
I-
actually actively trying to kill my character, so there's it.
That's cool.
There is that.
Unfortunately, I think I'm a terrible human being because I own a Mac and I find it quite hard to play games on my Mac.
Yeah,
So
but
I
Mac's for work, though, isn't it, really, rather than gaming?
Yeah. I use my Mac for everything. So, yeah. So, unfortunately, I don't think I can. But thank you for for asking me. Have a good time. If you record it, I'll watch. I'll
Well,
see
hang
where
on
it
a
goes.
second. Jess has just said, because it's in pre-release at the moment, they're currently working on getting a decent Mac build.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
putting it
That's
online or something.
Yeah.
Well, if that happens, let me know, and I might come play.
Apparently, it's made by one guy, according to her.
Oh, cool. Cool.
Well, in that case, I'll certainly buy it to give him the support. Like I say, tomorrow night, providing I'm not dead, we'll well, whoever out of us turns up will play.
Cool.
That'll be fun. And I'll stream it on Twitch, which means that'll go onto YouTube as well. This show will be on YouTube. Just chap in youtube.com/Bibblethruster, spelled like it sounds. And you'll be able to come back and listen to Eddie over and over and over again.
Yeah, if I ever need my ego boosted, I'll just come back and listen to Eddie say how much he loved the Master Thief.
There's always
So
one way on short.
I have heard, I have seen one person on YouTube already slating it, but
I'm afraid if you put yourself out there, you're going to get that.
But to be fair, I think it was quite an interesting one because he didn't. What's the word I'm looking for? He assessed me by looking at his Twitter, then listened to the audio, and he didn't like that I had pronouns in my Twitter username and complained about that for about 20 minutes.
One of these people, was he?
He was.
His
So I
opinion
was
is well.
I don't think his opinion's really
Introduce
worth
me
losing.
to him. Auntie will have words.
But
He's one of
Would you
those.
like
fair.
us to kick him in the nuts?
it's fine. But what I'm saying is, it's very nice
Then
to
he'll
hear.
have to choose his own pronouns.
Actually,
So if you give me his Twitter handle, I'm Glaswegian.
He just has a chip on his shoulder.
I know people.
probably.
It's all right, we're good.
We do not do that from this show. We
We're
leave that
good.
to Auntie.
right. So that's fine. No, genuinely though, I'm really glad at the feedback, whether it's good or bad, because the only way I can learn
Yes.
anyway
Yes.
is by, which is
Yeah.
why I really wanted to see if there were any negative reviews.
I take it you're being reviewed in
There were.
DWM next week?
I assume so. I don't. Well, I did. I was asked about Master Thief over the phone, and I was in the most recent one with Monstrous Booty. But it was literally like just a few lines because they wanted to talk to everybody.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it will be reviewed. I don't know who's reviewing it. I would
It'll be
assume it's
reviewed,
being
love.
reviewed.
Trust me.
God. Okay.
I
Um,
genuinely do not think you have anything to worry about.
Yeah, you have
I-
nothing to worry
I
about.
always have fear, guys. You understand? This is fear. Fear,
Keep
fear,
the
fear, fear, fear.
The fear keeps you sharp.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
gonna be fine. You're gonna be
Fear
absolutely
is good. The fear is good, but you're going to be fine.
Thank
Have
you.
some ice cream.
Thank you. I will have some more ice
Have
cream.
some ice cream. Auntie approves.
Cool.
Right. So next Sunday, I'll get this out eventually. So tomorrow night at some stage, I don't know what time. It'll be in the evening in the UK, probably after 5:30. So that's going to mean a 10:30 start. Does it, Brian?
It doesn't matter. I'm off tomorrow.
Oh, that's fine. If we could do it earlier, I'd be very grateful.
Not a problem. You say when, we come running.
Yep. So we're going to play Phasmophobia. God help me. Then Wednesday, it's no Earth. For our reaction. And then next Sunday, Ambassadors of Death, The Vanishing Earth, a big finish of some description, possibly, and Series 2, Episode 2 of Life on Mars, and that's 9 p.m. UK time, 4 p.m. Eastern, though we are going to have to try and... It's getting towards that time now where we have to sort out our clocks. So,
Oh no. The darkness
I'll let you know when
stopped
ours
early.
change.
Oh no, we love the darkness. Autumn is my favourite time of year, leading up to Christmas. It really is.
It's been Halloween since September.
For you, yes.
Yes.
He exists on pumpkin spice, whatever the hell that is. Don't explain it. At the
What? You don't want to hear about the North American basic bitch? Okay, no problem.
Karen? Oh, we found it the opposite of a Karen. There is the opposite of a Karen. Someone
The
who
opposite.
stands there and shouts left, right, and centre that black lives do matter. You know, immigrants are great. It's reverse Karen. I'm a bit worried. Is it like matter and antimatter? If the two meet,
If
will
the
we
two
just go
meet, the
kapoof?
internet explodes with all the people watching the video.
I think you could be right there. I really do. Oh, hello. Eddie's doing writing again because
If I don't write it down, I forget. So
it's
I'm
not
just writing
that.
down what
It's
I do
not
next week.
just that. You go listening to the old Flashing Blades with Joe and steal all her notes.
How dare you?
You told
How
me.
dare you? Joe didn't do a review of the Master Thief. Trust me.
I
You
do
still go back-
appreciate this. Yes,
Thank you. So that's at least one I didn't steal.
that's good. How many shows you been doing now?
The only one.
Done so far?
Oh, I don't know. I've lost count now.
So far. I know we're on 45. I've no idea who's joined when or did what.
I know we're doing the Vanishing Earth. Is that tomorrow, people?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yes. Season 1,
Decent,
third arc.
wholesome comfort telly.
Yes.
The last one of season 1. Then we get the blue and the green.
Seriously,
And
Sophie,
Liz.
if you've not watched The Tomorrow People, you need to. I know you're doing time
It
slip at
is
the
on my
moment.
list, yeah.
Do the prisoner first, Sophie. Do the prisoner first.
Yeah, this is the
Especially if you
problem.
like young
Everyone
men
recommends
scantily
so much.
dressed.
It's a lot to get through.
Okay, we'll see.
When Britain goes on lockdown again, you'll have
Oh.
plenty
Probably
of time.
tomorrow.
Well,
It's
you
coming
say
soon.
that, but I worked all the way through lockdown.
Same
got one
here.
of those
Exactly
jobs,
the same
ain't ya?
as it
I work
was.
from home.
Me
Yeah.
too. Right. Yeah. I'm waiting
Yeah.
for it though. I'm hoping for it. Going into the office sucks.
Right then, that's it, boys and girls. Thank you so much for tuning in. Sophie, thank you so much for joining
Yeah,
us.
thank you, Sophie.
So,
Thank
thank
you.
you for having
You've
me.
just been an absolute delight. Thank you. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
thank you so much, and have a nice evening, guys, afternoon, wherever you are. And I will catch you soon.
Just
And if you-
remember, we are here at the home of time. All right. Brian is in the past.
No, it's the future.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's the past, love.
Uh,
Home of time here. Remember that.
well, they are turning it back to 1950.
They're trying to do that here as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
I want to see them
And yeah.
roll up the Greenwich line to try and do that. That'd make me laugh. They'd probably give it to some Tory company that's just been formed, has no experience in moving timelines, and oh, this could be funny.
You'll get dinosaurs again.
Hooray! And she's gone. We've got her. It didn't take long. Dobby, you all right there, love? He never gets a word in edgeways, bless him. Start interrupting.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Nothing of any use to say at this present point in time. I'm just saying stuff for the pure fun of it.
Hooray!
It's pretty much all we do.
Promote yourself, Dominic. You've obviously got stuff coming up. The Purple Doctor.
Yeah. What's coming up? What's new with Dominic?
This
For me,
is true.
well,
Yes.
Yes, so I've been working on quite a few things over the course of the last few months anyway. So obviously, first and foremost is the Purple Doctor series, part of the DW 2012 Dynamic Works 2012 production. That will hopefully be out somewhat early next year. Obviously, we've been taking it slow because of COVID and everything like that. It would have been this year, but of course, real life writes the plot. But I am also working on a purely personal project, Doctor Who Remnants, which is an audio series I've been doing auditions for. It's basically an anthology series, somewhat like Inside Number 9 or The Twilight Zone, set in Doctor Who
gotcha.
universe,
Yeah,
with a little
okay.
bit of a spin.
Oh, I like that idea.
Yeah, and most of the episodes won't be featured around the Doctor. It'll be around like characters within the universe, but not really. It doesn't need the Doctor being there. I mean, a couple have the Doctor. In fact, the script that I've worked on for about roughly 3 years, that was originally going to be a DW 2012 one, but was just like, nah, I think I can use this for something else. I'm using that. And I'm very happy with how it's come out, and it's just I just can't wait for people to see, because I want to be able to do something that I can put myself as out there as a writer as well, and a bit more of it on the production side, because I'm creating it all basically myself in terms of the sound design. But obviously I'm getting composers in, which is also nice because people are volunteering to give their time and their efforts and the acting as well. And I'm extraordinarily grateful. I've had like 50, 60 auditions for the series, and it's just crazy that people would want to like be a part of that so much. And it really just keeps me motivated to do it. And I'm just like, yeah, I can't wait to show people what's going to happen.
Can
So
I
I'm going
put
to
in
get
a couple of requests for the next series of this, please?
Of course, yes.
The man in the flat cap who goes to open the TARDIS door just as it vanishes in Daleks Invasion Earth 2050 AD, and he ends up in his bottom, going, oh, he needs a story about him. And secondly, Morton Dill.
Morton Dill needs a story.
Morton
Yeah,
Dill.
Morton Dill needs a story.
Dill. No, I could do something with Morton Dill, to be honest. I was just like, what the hell is this?
He just needs a story where the Dalek is throwing him off the Empire State Building.
Literally,
I'll be there with it.
Why is this man surviving?
Because
Just
if you read the
Also-
novelization, okay, it's explained the Dalek thinks the guy is so stupid it would be better for the detriment of the human race to keep him alive.
That makes
There is
sense.
a small point of
Makes
note.
sense.
He is not from Texas. He is from Alabama.
he is from Alabama.
That
He's
is
a Bama
amazing
boy.
logic.
Could you potentially call it the death of Morton Dill, and then everyone who hates that character will read it, even if
I'll
that's
buy
not
it.
what happens?
I'll buy it.
Hell, I'll help fund it.
Can I
Okay,
put you
I
all
want to
them
make
now?
something ideally longer than 30 seconds, so...
Right, guys, come on, we've got to go. It's been an hour and 45 minutes.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you all so much for tuning in. Hopefully we'll see you next Sunday. Like I say, Sophie, open invite. Whenever you're bored on a Sunday evening, just jump in. All right?
Great.
You're
It's
welcome.
lovely to see you all.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see you at the next convention we're at, if they have them anymore.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, that's how we met, I think, wasn't it? Convention?
Yeah. We met at Hooverville, I think.
Was it Hooverville or was it the Capitol?
No, it was Hooverville.
It was Hooverville. Well, we're both, Eddie and myself, are going to be at the Hooverville next year.
Next year.
Providing
yeah.
I can get the transport up. That's going to be a dodgy thing. I need to look into I haven't been very well, basically. Anyway, so, yeah. Basically, folks, we're going to try to do a closing title sequence now. I make no promises as to what's happening. Our usual standards and professionalism will be on display. So until next time, everybody say goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Is that it?
I'm in tenterhooks here. Is this going to work?
The tension is palpable.
Here we go. Yes!
You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more. And life and love and happiness are well worth fighting for. They're well worth fighting for.
And now, a goat. Told you, didn't I?